And then odds are stacked against you. It's always a way out. And if you feel that you can come out strong, then you should. And I feel I have.
Beast mode is when he's unstoppable.
I don't know how to go into beast mode. You find out what's in you when it just come out.
Finds a little bit of a hole, keeps his legs moving, he's across the 40.
Being from where I'm from, a lot of people don't see the light.
Oh my goodness, please! He is not touchdown! Oh my God, I don't know what to do.
That was beast mode. Beast mode.
Collect money! Go!
You know, the most talented guys from your neighborhood usually don't make it out.
1, 2, 3. That's what I'm talking about it! Midfield, 45, he's on the run, Lynch!
Went forward, ran into some trouble.
I've heard people was calling him a thug.
How did you deal with that perception?
Me being a thug,
40, pushes the man, 35, look at him go!
breaking a couple more tackles, things opened up for me a little bit.
He's down to 20, 15.
He has this grit that most guys don't have.
He is gonna go!
I guess you could say that run is symbolic of my life.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Marshawn Lynch is one of the most enigmatic players in professional football. The 28-year-old All-Pro running back sets the tone for the Seattle Seahawks offense. His punishing style of play speaking volumes.
Breaks through the line, makes a man miss, cuts back outside right 30, 35, 40, down the far sidelines, pushes the defender, keeps fighting, he's still moving, he's gonna go! Are you kidding me?
He's introverted, reclusive, and repeatedly gets fined for refusing to speak to the media. Even when forced to, he doesn't say much.
Can you talk about this one against Arizona today?
Yeah.
How does your back feel, Marshawn?
Yeah.
But there is one place where Marshawn Lynch will talk, and talk it up. His hometown.
Those are the same jeans you had on yesterday.
Damn right. I'll be damned if somebody from Oakland say that Marshawn don't come back and be in his community, because that'll be a lie for sure.
Oakland, California. Proud. Tough. Troubled. Resilient. Attributes reflected in one of its favorite sons.
He is Oakland. Oakland, it will die on him. It's tough, but it teaches you things. It helps mold you.
That struggle really humbles you. And when you come home to really be a part of that every offseason, it puts your life back in perspective that this is where I was at. And I can easily go back to this.
Marshawn Lynch grew up here, in a North Oakland neighborhood called Goldenville. His mother, Delisa, worked 2 jobs to put food on the table and clothes on her children's backs. Her primary job was keeping Marshawn and his 3 siblings off the streets.
Where we lived at, they weren't allowed to go outside of the gate. I'll just put it like that. We lived in apartments where they had a front gate and a back gate, and they were not allowed outside of either one. So that's how tough it was.
If you take a couple blocks down right here, you're gonna hit San Pablo. That's where you could catch your prostitutes at. But just all through this little 4 or 5 blocks right here, I mean, all type of drug dealing going on. You know, shootings, killings.
The neighborhood wasn't the only thing in Marshawn's life that was tough on him. He rarely saw his father.
I mean, you know, he was in and out of jail, you know, doing his thing.
What do you think you miss not having a dad around?
I don't think I miss nothing. My mama would play played both parts.
I became his dad. I became mama and daddy. On Father's Day, I would get Happy Father's Day, Mama.
He don't want people to let him down. And so it's hard to get inside that zone with him. If you can get in that little zone, in that little shell, you're good. He'll love you for the rest of your life. But if you let him down, he holds grudges.
Yeah, Coach D said that one thing that he saw in you early on was that if you trusted somebody, you do anything for him. But if you didn't trust him, yeah.
My bad, bro, but
why do you think you have your guard up against certain people?
I think it started earlier when moms would be like, oh, I'm finna take you over here to your dad's house. And when I get there, my dad like, oh, okay, I'll be right back. And then you don't see that. You don't see this guy for like 2 days or something. And then after a while, you build up numb feelings to that. So you start to expect like the worst out of people.
He did kind of carry that on with him a little bit, you know.
For how long?
I want to say probably till he got in high school and just realized, you know what, maybe it's okay that there can be a man that I can trust.
And in high school, Marshawn would find two men to trust through football. His uncle, Verdell Larkins, was his running backs coach. Delton Edwards, his head coach.
It takes a community to raise a young man, and I think he had that support. We showed him a lot of love, brought him into our home, and treated him like he was one of our sons.
You know, no matter what you're going through, no matter what problems you have in life, you can come to us. No matter what it is, we can talk about it. And once he realized that we were behind him 100%, then he opened up his heart.
He also opened some eyes on the football field. By 2003, his senior year at Oakland Tech High School, he was a local legend and a Super Prep All-American. It was here that he earned the nickname he carried for life, Beast Mode.
What does it mean when you go into beast mode?
I don't know. I don't know how to go into beast mode. You find out what's in you when it just come out.
All right, get the number 10 to the Lynch.
It came out in the final game of his high school career.
Lynch touchdown.
The Oakland League Championship. Lynch scored 5 touchdowns.
Here comes Mr. Lynch. We got a guy.
None bigger than this one. Late in the fourth quarter, a run that put the game away. Pure beast mode.
Oh my goodness me! He got touchdown. Just watching him become a complete player in one night. Unstoppable. Oh my God! If my lineman wasn't so good, oh my God, I don't know what to do.
But he did know what to feed the beast.
Skittles. Where does that love of that candy come from?
It's just always been some type of candy. Skittles was just the one that caught fire.
And I remember giving him those Skittles and saying, these are your power pellets. They're gonna make you run faster. That's what I said, they're gonna make you run real fast. You're gonna be faster than everybody out there. And he would eat them up.
He also knew where he wanted to play college football. Cal Berkeley, just 15 minutes from his home and his mother, the woman who kept him off the tough streets of Oakland.
You wear a tattoo that says Mama's Boy on it. Why?
You said why?
Yeah, why? Why'd you get that?
Statement. You know, let it be known. I mean, it's across the top of my back. You know, that's my heart, man.
When he came home and took his shirt off, and I'm reading it, Mama's Boy, I'm thinking, Marshawn, did that hurt, baby? It's so beautiful, but did it hurt? And he was like, yeah, and you worth it. I'm like, and I cried. I'm like, oh no. I cried.
He gives it to Lynch. Lynch breaks to the outside. He's got room.
Lynch's mother, who had never missed one of her son's games, continued that at Cal, where Marshawn was fed a healthy dose of Skittles and the ball. He rushed for over 1,000 yards twice. In his junior year, he earned first-team All-America honors and then declared for the 2007 NFL Draft. What awaited him was life on his own, 3,000 miles away from everything he knew.
When I finally landed in Buffalo,
Before Marshawn Lynch was an all-pro running back with the Seattle Seahawks, he was a high school legend in Oakland, California.
Oh, my goodness me! He's got touchdown!
And an All-American at Cal Berkeley. Just 15 minutes from his home and the mother who kept him off the tough streets of his hometown.
He gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears.
After his junior season at Cal, Lynch declared for the NFL draft.
With the 12th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Marshawn Lynch.
I didn't know what to expect. I just knew I was going to New York, so I thought it was finna be on and popping. I thought I was finna be out there with, with Jay-Z, and then when I finally landed in Buffalo, oh man, it was like slush on the ground, just finished snowing. I ain't know nothing about no snow.
He did know something about being tough and resilient, even 3,000 miles from home. In his first 2 years in Buffalo, Lynch rushed for consecutive 1,000-yard seasons and was selected to the Pro Bowl.
Lynch the carry again, finds a seam again, inside the 10, inside the 5, touchdown Marshawn Lynch!
But there would also be consecutive seasons of trouble. At 3:30 a.m. on May 31st, 2008, at the intersection of Chippewa and Delaware in downtown Buffalo, Lynch struck a female pedestrian with his Porsche SUV. He left the scene.
I was making a left turn, and it was a young lady coming off of the sidewalk. And, you know, as I was going by, she walked out, she walked back, and then the next thing I know, I had hit somebody, so they say. I don't know about none of that.
Surveillance video obtained by E60 shows the aftermath of the hit-and-run accident. The woman sustained a minor injury to her hip and needed 7 stitches to her thigh. Lynch had his driver's license suspended for 45 days and was ordered to pay a $150 fine. Less than a year later, on February 11, 2009, police in Culver City, California near Los Angeles arrested Lynch for carrying a loaded concealed firearm. He eventually pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor gun charge, was sentenced to 80 hours of community service and 3 years probation. The NFL suspended him for the first 3 games of the 2009 season.
It was a letdown. You know, it was a letdown to my family. It was a letdown to myself. And it was a letdown to everybody on that team that was holding me accountable.
Stupid, just really stupid. And I'm telling them those silly, stupid mistakes shouldn't happen, you know. I know you're human, you're young, but you gotta grow up, you know.
Being suspended, it didn't play into who I am.
But it did have an impact on his image.
I've heard people was calling him a thug because of his gold teeth and his dreads and the way he talks. I've heard all types of different things.
How did you deal with that perception?
Me being a thug?
Yeah.
What I would tell him is, the perception of me being a thug, I would like to see, them grow up in project housing authorities, being racially profiled growing up, sometimes not even having nothing to eat. Sometimes having to wear the same damn clothes to school for a whole week. And then all of a sudden, a big ass change in their life, like they dream come true to the point where starting their career at 20 years old when they still don't know shit. I would like to see some of the mistakes that they would make.
Those mistakes ultimately cost Lynch in Buffalo. As the 2010 season was beginning, his life and career were at a crossroads.
I wanted to leave and they wanted me gone. So, I mean, you know, that was a mutual thing.
October 2010. Bills running back Marshawn Lynch is in his 4th NFL season. His life and career are at a crossroads. 2 off-the-field incidents, a hit and run in downtown Buffalo and a misdemeanor gun charge near Los Angeles, ultimately take their toll. The Bills trade Lynch for a 4th and 5th round pick to the Seattle Seahawks.
Who I was at the time when they acquired me, people would probably look at me like, that's a badass dude, going to jail and shit, and, you know, being in trouble. Like every off season, they had to have some kind of feeling towards me to want me to come over and be a part of the ball club.
We tried for really months to get them to trade Marshawn to us. I had known him growing up, you know, coming through high school and all that. I knew who he was and the style that he ran with, and I wanted to see if we could include that into the building of this program.
When you got to Seattle, how much of your motivation revolved around wanting to prove Buffalo wrong for giving up on you, you know, rebuild your name?
No, I don't think Buffalo gave up on me.
Okay, well, how would you feel?
That feeling was mutual. I wanted to leave and they wanted me gone. So, I mean, you know, that was a mutual thing. But, you know, when I got to Seattle, I don't feel like I was out to prove anything to anybody. It was more like I had a new life.
3 months after the trade, January 8th, 2011, the NFC wildcard game. The Seahawks hosting the defending champion New Orleans Saints. Marshawn Lynch's first playoff game. Late in the 4th quarter, Seattle clung to a 34-30 lead. What happened next created actual seismic activity in downtown Seattle and became the defining moment of Lynch's career.
Lynch left side, finds a little bit of a hole, keeps his legs moving, he's across the 40, midfield, 45, he's on the run, Lynch, 40, pushes the man, 35, look at him go, he's down to 20, 15, he could go, he is gonna go, touchdown Seahawks!
If you wasn't in this stadium to see it and to hear it, I feel you're being shortchanged by watching the video. It was that damn loud. That was beast mode.
So once you gave the stiff arm, how did you feel about your chances of scoring at that point in the run?
Oh, man, I was just hoping I kept my balance and didn't fall. But we had about 4 or 5 offensive linemen that was running down, like on the side of me. I bet you everybody felt like they scored on that play because that was one time you had the whole squad in the end zone.
And you dove in the end, too. What was that about?
That was the stamp of the statement. With all of that you got to finish it off somehow.
Over the next 3 seasons in Seattle, Lynch rushed for over 4,000 yards, scored 39 touchdowns, and made 3 Pro Bowls.
Go!
But he's never forgotten where he's from.
Bring that little weak back over here again, boy. I'm gonna do the same thing.
Every offseason, Lynch is back in Oakland, among family and friends.
1, 2, 3. That's what I'm talking about it!
And for Marshawn Lynch, that means using his foundation to help kids growing up in Oakland. Kids that are just like him.
How many kids that you grew up with do you think could have used something like this?
Oh, man, a lot. Because, you know, and it's crazy because, you know, the most talented guys from your neighborhood usually don't make it out. You know, I just feel like if they were, you know, in this age group that we're working with now, and we were able to get to them and talk to them, I think, you know, this would have helped them tons.
He's a big kid in a grown man's body. I mean, if he could go out here and play with kids all day, he will. He's just a kid that's having fun and enjoying the kids so they can see what it's like to have somebody rooting for him.
3, 4, 5, that's what I'm talking about, boys. Good job.
But it was also back in his hometown. In the early morning hours of July 14, 2012, when Lynch was arrested for driving under the influence. Police say he had a .08 blood alcohol level, the legal limit in California. Hours before the start of his annual youth football camp, Marshawn Lynchs was in a jail cell.
The whole night that I was in jail, I'm like, damn, I just told myself I wouldn't put myself in this position, and here I go again. And then I just thought to myself, like, why? How did you even let something like this happen? Something so irresponsible. When I was out, went right to my camp, seen all those kids' face, and it was just like, damn, I'm finna have to explain to these kids that, you know, I was in jail because I made a dumb decision.
Lynch would plead guilty to a lesser charge of reckless driving and serve no jail time.
Russell takes the snap, hands to Marshawn, who bounces it to the left side, inside the 30, down the 20, still moving, 10, 5, touchdown, Seahawks!
The thing that makes, you know, Marshawn Lynch, you know, the best in the game, you know, is the fact that, you know, he can make holes for himself. He has this grit that most guys don't have.
In 2013, that grit and that determination helped lead the Seahawks to Super Bowl 48. And while his teammates reveled in the media spotlight,
Whenever you guys ready.
the ever-reticent Lynch remained true to character.
Oh, you don't like it either, huh? I know, they just be throwing shit all in your face. All the unnecessary talk, it don't do nothing for me. But I appreciate this.
Are we done?
As usual, Lynch preferred to do his talking on the field, scoring a touchdown in the Seahawks' 43-8 victory over the Denver Broncos. He is now an iconic figure in Seattle. But emblazoned on his chest is another city, a city he embodies, his hometown. He is Oakland, and so is the moment that defines him.
Growing up, being from where I'm from, a lot of people don't see the light. I didn't see the light in that play. Went forward, ran into some trouble, being on food stamps, living in the projects, running headfirst into linebackers. Started to play football. Things opened up for me a little bit. Breaking a couple more tackles, going to jail, getting in trouble. Coming out of that, touchdown. I guess you could say that run is symbolic of my life.
Yeah.